I did this last time. It was 19 seconds too long for YouTube. I'm going to do the short version. Welcome to BM 101 after the 5.0 patch. Okay, if you are marksman or survival and you're doing Dragon Soul or any content raids, you want to change that up right now to Beast Mastery, as both of them, the other two classes, have been nerfed. To the point that my dots were doing more damage than my primary attacks. Okay, on to BM. Go to your talents here. Coaching Tiger, Hidden Chimera, you want to be using this in PvE due to the fact that Post Haste and Narrow Escape offer you no PvE benefits. Silencing Shot, Wyvern Sting, and Binding Shot is preference. If you want to be able to slow ads and keep them rooted, you want to be using Binding Shot. It worked on Heroic Madness on the Congealing Bloods at the end in the last phase. It worked on them. It didn't stop them entirely, but it did slow them a lot, on top of using your Ice Trap. Wyvern Sting is just still your basics, same as it was pre-patch. So is Silencing Shot. I use Silencing Shot in PvP, doesn't matter. 45, you basically get your survivability thing. Iron Hawk is Aspect of the Hawk, 10% damage reduction. Your healers will love you. Spirit Bond, 2% HP over 2 seconds. You could use it, but at the same time, the damage you'd be taking would be more. The DR on your Iron Hawk would be less. Basically, you'd take less damage than you'd be healing with Spirit Bond. Exhilaration is good for PvP in the sense that you can instantly heal up 30%, pop Readiness, pop Deterrence, pop Exil again. You can heal up 60% in like 2 seconds. If you don't have a healer there, it's really nice. I use this. Plus it heals your pet 100% as well. The next phase is Focus Regeneration. Fervor, start with that. Instantly restores 50 focus to you and your pet, an additional 50 focus over 10 seconds. It's not bad. The focus over the 10 seconds is basically 5 a second. That's pretty good, but at the same time, it's a 30-second cooldown. It's not really worth it. Thrill of the Hunt. When you use an attack that uses focus, 30% chance to proc 3 arcane shots or multi-shots that cost you. The arcanes would cost you no focus, and the multis would cost you 20 focus. So it's okay to use in the sense, but I don't really like it because I can use Dire Beast, which is basically a Shadow Fiend for hunters and with focus regeneration instead of mana regeneration, because it gives you a bump in DPS and it gives you 5 focus every time it deals damage, and it gives you 5 focus ridiculously quick. I have a hard time. I literally cannot, as BM, drop my focus below 120 with Dire Beast summoned. So I recommend using Dire Beast for sure as part of your rotation. The last ones that we can get pre-mop are Blink Strike, Murder of Crows, and Lynx Rush. Murder of Crows is good as survival or a spec that doesn't, basically any spec that isn't BM. You basically want to be using Murder of Crows. It's a dot, and it ticks pretty hard. It's like 15k crit ticks and 7k non-crits on your average Dragon Soul boss, which is pretty ridiculous. The only thing I don't like is how long the cooldown is and how much focus it costs, but it's a fun skill. It's kind of neat to see that many birds. Now you get to your other choice. As BM, we want to be using something that benefits our pet more than us, because our pet is going to be doing about 60% of our total damage. So I use Blink Strike personally, which is a shadow step for my pet. I'll demonstrate it right now on this target dummy. My pet is right beside me right here, and he teleports behind it, and he dealt 10,000, and some of it was blocked. That's also a level 90 target dummy, so take into consideration the DR that has on the other ones, and you basically understand how powerful it is. It hits for about 50k crits without Bestial Wrath on, and I've seen upwards of 90k crits on Dragon Soul bosses with Bestial Wrath active on a 20-second cooldown. Kind of ridiculous. Lynx Rush is an AoE pet attack. It's basically like Killing Spree on a rogue. You just bounce around target to target and just absolutely shred everything. Minute and a half cooldown. Good for AoE. I wouldn't use it as much just because Blink Strike is on such a short cooldown that it makes it kind of useless. And there's very, very few fights in Dragon Soul that are AoE based. Like Yorsage is the only one, really. Okay. Glyphs. Unfortunately, they've killed all the good glyphs for every class for the most part. Hunters aren't excluded from that. PvE, Animal Bond is one of your best ones. You get 10% healing from all sources, and your pet does as well, so you heal your pet for 10% more, healers heal you 10% more. It's just nice, especially with the fixed mana pools now. Marked for Death is another one I use. Arcane Shot, Chimera Shot, Kill Command, and Explosive Shot all apply Hunter's Mark. So when you start off that fight, you just pop your Kill Command, boom, you got that Hunter's Mark. Very, very nice if you're switching targets constantly. Last one I use is the Disengage one. Basically just increases the range, the distance you disengage, about 50% I'd say. You can, yeah, you spread yourself pretty good. It's nice. Your miners are kind of just, they're kind of strange. Like fireworks, you just shoot fireworks. Like, I use what's beneficial to me, and these are really preferential to person. Fetch is going to be one that, as you're leveling up and questing, if you're questing and not doing dungeons, you can basically have your pet just loot everything for you. You don't even have to run over to it. Just make your pet go loot everything. Nicely done. Aspect of the Pack I use in Raid just because it helps people run faster during Ice Phase on Hagara and raids and all that. It's just nice to have that extra 15 yards. And Aspects is the one that I use that's just kind of fun to play around with. Every time you switch Aspects, you summon a familiar. Like I just changed into an Iron Hawk into a Fox. There's the Fox, there's the Hawk. You just basically summon a pet that resembles the Aspect. And then I'll be using Stampede probably when I get Stampede at 87. Pet talents, basically, you can just change from my pet's Ferocity. Now it's a tank pet. Now it's back to Ferocity. As a BM, you're going to want to keep everything as Ferocity. And you get a 8-minute battle res on your pet. You want to be using this if your pet dies at any given time. It's like instant instead of like the 4 or 5 second cast timer now that Revive Pet is. Yeah, it's 5 seconds now. So, boom, instantly pet healed up. We're going to get into the rotation now. Your rotation as BM hasn't changed much from 4.3, but at 5.0, you're now going to be using Blink Strike and Dire Beast. So your primary shots are going to be your Cobra Shot and your Arcane Shot, basically. That's all you shoot as a BM Hunter. You apply Serpentine once, Cobras to maintain the dot, and just spamming Arcane. Just spam Arcane. The more Arcane shots you can get off with the fewer Cobras, the more DPS you're going to push out while maintaining that Serpent Sting. It's lovely. So, the start off of every fight, as a troll, I have a miniature Bloodlust. I get 20% spell haste on a 3-minute cooldown for 10 seconds. I'm also an engineer, so I get the Engineering Tinker, which gives me 480 agility on a minute cooldown. So those are very, very nice to pop together at the start of a fight. You want to start off with your Serpent Sting, then you're going to want to enrage your pet, pop your Blink Strike, pop your Kill Command, and then you're going to want to pop your Dire Beast. And when you pop your Dire Beast, you should be at about 100 focus, just because of focus regen and the way it is right now. And with that Dire Beast up, you won't need to Cobra Shot at all for like the first at least the first 10 seconds of the fight. I'll show a little demo real quick, but you basically don't have to use Cobra Shot, which is basically allowing you to just Arcane, 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 Arcane. And the more Arcanes you get off, the more damage you're going to burst, and your guild's going to love you. So, after your Dire Beast goes off cooldown, or goes on cooldown, you have two options. You can pop your Readiness as a Hunter, which I do right away, just so I can get 2 Enrages out as quickly as I can, 2 Dire Beasts. The start of the fight comes out, I can do roughly 4.2 million burst with full raid buffs, fast food, without firing 1 Cobra Shot. That's ridiculous. So, the second option that you have there is just to continue your rotation, and then when you feel like popping Readiness, pop it. But I recommend popping it at the start of a fight, because if a fight is longer than 5 minutes, you're going to get more than 1 Readiness off, which allows you to enrage your pet twice in a row. When you enrage your pet, make sure that your Blink Strike is off cooldown or coming off cooldown along with your Kill Command. Because if you time this right, you can get 3 Kill Commands and 1 Blink Strike off while your pet is enraged. Or, yeah, basically it's very nice. Your Dire Beast is always off cooldown. I've went over that. AoEing, your multi-shot's still your top priority, but you're also going to be wanting to toss down your explosive traps, your snake traps. If you don't want to use snake trap and it doesn't do enough damage for you and you don't like it, don't. It's situational for me. If I have the time and I have the global, I'll toss it down. But you definitely want to be tossing down your explosive trap for that extra little bit of burst damage. You don't have to multi-shot as much anymore because your pet also has a cleave when you multi-shot as BM. So you definitely want to be tossing that out as much as you can, that pet cleave, because it'll do a lot of damage. And your pet will single target focus with blink and kill command. It'll just rip anything apart. So let's get into the rotation here. Started off, pop my racial, pop that. Serpent Sting, enrage the pet, he'll blink behind. Pop Dire Beast, watch my focus. Not Cobra Shotting. Damage is on the right side, not Cobra Shotting. Kill command off cooldown. Not focusing. Okay, Dire Beast went away. Cobra in there. Kill command. I'm going to wait for this blink strike and then I'm going to pop my readiness. Here we go. Pop that readiness. Boom. Pop that Dire Beast again. Apply Serpent Sting. I don't know how that fell off. Basically, you can burst 50k on target dummies with absolutely no issues. Like, you can just look at my arcanes popping up here as crits. It's constant critting. And the neat thing about Blink Strike is it requires no focus. There's that haste buff that you get as BM. And you basically just pop everything off cooldown, maintain your focused. Dire Beast's off cooldown, you have that unlimited focus. And be sure to pop your rapid fire now as well, because it's on a shorter cooldown and you get readiness. You can pop, like, I'm probably doing it wrong by doing my Troracial first. I should be doing my rapid fire, because I can just pop readiness and get it right back. It's all preference though. But yeah, that's basically your BM rotation now. It's very, very simple. I mean, bursting up to, I did 50k on Heroic Morchalk this week as BM, so it's pretty ridiculous now. I'll probably make a guide for PvP BM, just because I do a little BGs here and there. I'm not a huge PvPer, but I'll be sure to toss one in there. If you have any questions, drop me a comment, a like, and a subscribe, and I'll be sure to answer them as soon as I can. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting. Where's the button?